So remember I said this package is designed for visuals or displaying what is happening with the data. If we increase this particular data volume, if we increase certain volume of data, we expect some changes in the graphics, right? Na tulisema those things take place on the right time. We have the live update where we link Power BI with a certain database. For example, for example, a supermarket database. The database that is in the ERP software that are used in supermarkets. You can link Power BI with those particular software, the ERP, so that when you sell, things are updating on the screen, right? Things are updating on the screen. So that is basically what we will be doing today. Another thing, we will do some data cleaning, right? And we will use the data that I shared with you yesterday. Remember, there is a data called, what's the name of that particular data? Is the dirty data, right? You have Simkonayo data, Frinda, and Demasi. You have that kind of data, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the data that we are going to clean now. That is the data that we are going to clean. And we will start with data cleaning, then we'll go to the visuals or graphics. So let me share with you my screen before we continue. Oh. Yes, Priscilla, welcome back. Karibu sana. We can now continue with what we are going to do. So, Priscilla, what we are doing today, we are doing some data cleaning processes or methods that are used for data cleaning in Power BI. And then from there, we do the visuals. We do the visuals with that particular data or ile data ingine niliwatumia jana. Sawa. So that is basically what we are going to do. And without wasting much time, wacha tuingie kwa system. This is the Power BI, and let me show you something here. So I want you to load the data. You can delete this kind of data. Do we delete them really? Yes, we can delete, or we can just upload. So we are going to upload the Excel data, and we are going to use the data 1, right? Data 1. So upload that particular data. Hiyo ndio data tunaenda clean. Then after cleaning, we do the analysis. We do the visualizations, I mean. So we click the data, the data 1. So we click the data. Let's click all of them. Let's highlight the clean data and the dirty data. But now you will notice that in cleaning data, we don't have a specific procedure. We don't have a specific procedure. So uta clean up to the point that you feel, hey, this data can give me the analysis or conclusions that I want. So Let's upload the clean one and the data one. Let's see what is going to happen here. Make sure you are doing the same from your side. So.
Yesterday was not available. We are
Yes.
using data that was used yesterday.
No, kuna data nilikuwa nimetuma hapo, iko hapo kwa page.
Leo.
Hapana, nilituma jana.
Jana.
Yeah.
I saw you sent some data yesterday, but unfortunately I was not able to attend the class.
So that is the data that you are going to use. So just siko hapo the data nilituma hiyo, then nikatuma the note that we used yesterday. Kona hiyo data. In just a minute, I share the link with someone here. Okay, we can continue, right? Sindio?
Yes.
We can continue. Just a minute. Okay, let's check the data now. We are going to use this data here. So the data. Just a minute. So this is the data that we are going to clean. Just a minute, I want to confirm something here. I want to confirm something here. Make sure you upload that particular data set. So the sheet is 31. So acha tuingoje ikuja sasa. So this is the clean data. Tunataka data iko hivyo, and okay, so column zingine hazina kitu anyway. Make sure you upload this data ama you ngoja kidogo. Or you copy this one. So copy all that data one na mkuja nayo hapa. Hapa kwa enter data. Let's see. Tuone kama this one will make sense. No. So nataka I want us to do this. You copy this one, this data, the data1, ukuja nayo hapa kwa file ya Power BI. Sawa, nimeona inasumbua kidogo. So kuja nayo hapa, then we create how do we create a new nini here? Excel. Okay.
I think when creating another file unaenda huko hivyo juu kwa file kuna kuanga na save new. I don't know.
Save new. Nimeona hiyo itaki poa, so ngoja kidogo. Control V, Control S, right? I'm saving to Power BI. Then I call it data1 or data2. Let's call it data2. Then we do like this. I'll have to end up our Power BI. Let's try to remove these ones. All we can insert. Power BI iko slow kidogo. Nani amenotice hivyo? Sio? I want as we upload the Excel. We time imeenda. Data2 open. Yes, it has only one sheet. Click on that sheet. Yes, that is it. That is it now. So click on load. Right. Click on load. Pawambiaye, siharakishe. The data is 32. The data is called 32. So, able to angalia what we have in our presentation before we do the manual work. So, what is the importance of data cleaning? That's the first question to ask. Or why do we do data cleaning in any analysis? So, it's important actually to do data cleaning for analysis. This is there. It ensures accuracy of your projection, right, and validity of results derived from the clean data. So by establishing a solid foundation of clean and reliable data cleaning enhances the integrity and credibility of analytical insights. So I want you to get this point here. I know you know it, but it's just an emphasis. So by empowering organizations to make more informed decisions. So in this chapter we are going to demonstrate 10 commonly used methods in data cleaning process with the dirty data. So with the dirty data. Mbona haijakuja? Who has been able to load it? This sheet 1. We can remove the first one, the first row. Sindio? Let's see. So this is the first row. Data model, this consumer. I think inaweza kuwa hivyo tu, haitatu affect sana. Hii pambia yangu itanisumbua kidogo. Acha nitafute tena. Make sure leo umegrab some content before we end the class. So and we are going to use this data, and all the processes of data cleaning will take place in the Power Query editor, in the Power Query editor. So get started. Make sure you load this the datasheet 2, data 2 here to migrate from this one. So I want, as we do away with the first row, tubaki na hizo zikiwa hivyo. So we control S and we load that data now. So we try to load this data. Let's sheet 1 and load it. So that is it. We have the data now. Right, so this is the data. So this is the data that we want to do analysis on. You will note that we have so many empty cells, right? So this is the kind of data that we have, and the main reason why we said that there is no specific steps for data analysis is that unaweza kuwa you might only be interested with a specific column, so you do away with all those other columns, right? And our first method in this documentation is removing unnecessary columns. Suppose we want to maintain only this value, only this column on standard class and columns, right? Na uko na hizi zingine huku, let's see. Suppose we want this only these two. So unaona, we have so many other values on this other part here. Let's see. Yeah, okay, we are going to do now data cleaning on this, on the whole of this sheet. Suppose you don't want this one, this column, you don't want this column, this column, this column. How do? You just you click that particular just a minute. You click on transform. Remember, everything on that particular data set, all the data cleaning processes will take place on the query editor. So you click on transform data, right? You click on transform data, and you will note that we have so many null or empty cells, and every action that you do in Power Query, it will be documented on this part. So itakuwa documented hapa. So suppose you don't want the first, this one, you just click on control, highlight all the columns that you want to delete, then you right click, you may highlight, then you remove those columns, right? You remove those columns. Unaona zimebaki, so zenye tulikuwa tumehighlight, they are done. And ukikuja hapa kwa the applied steps, we have removed. You can actually undo that action by clicking on this X. So remove column, yes, when you click on that one, your columns zinarudi venye zilikuwa. So yeah, but now imagine you have a data set with, let's say, 50 or 100 rows, added columns, and you want only to maintain like 5. It will take a lot of time for you to delete the 95 columns, right? So you just highlight the columns that you want to be left with. For example, that column, that, and this one. And when you right click, instead of removing column, we remove other columns now apart from these ones. So okay, let's do it. Remove other columns. So we have removed all other columns apart from these 4. So these are some simple data cleaning techniques that we do. But now let's undo that action. And suppose your data is now clean. Imagine your data is now clean. You just click on this part, this icon here, for applying the actions. So we close and apply, or we can apply and continue updating, or we can close without applying the actions. So I think we are together. So let me cancel this. What a shit. Okay. Okay, wala sijui niwaambie aje. My network imeenda off na siku notice, and you didn't even alert me. Masi, nilipotelea wapi?
You had said that we go through the notes as we wait for the other the data.
So,
Data. I don't know.
so nimekaa like how many minutes?
Mingi.
Aki, I'm sorry. Network yangu ilienda siku notice. Aki, simgenishtua. I'm sorry for that. So I have just to repeat. So the ni sawa tu. Aki, nikiuliza swali, just keep me alert. Sawa. My number is there. Ukiona anything unusual, just alert me. Unaweza hata ni call, and then I will notice what is happening. Sawa. So,
Okay.
yeah. So the first step is on removing unnecessary columns, right? Unnecessary columns. And this is our data, as we said. This is the sheet 1 data set. And when you click on this part, the part for building your visuals, and click on transform data. Click on transform data.
Can you share your screen?
Oh. So this is the data. This is the Power Query editor. We are in Power Query editor mode, and Power Query editor inakuwa hapa. This is the queries. This is where all processes of data cleaning will take place. So today we will prolong our class up to around 9, so I think, for us to cover everything. So you just click on transform data and transform data, then itakuleta hapa to the data editor. enter. And our first operation was for removing unnecessary columns. And remember I said we don't have specific procedures for data cleaning, so you can start anywhere, right? But now what I documented here is removing unnecessary columns, right? When you click on this one, you click on the second column, you just press Control and click all the columns that you want to delete, right? From there, you just right click, you have to right click while your cursor is in the headers. So you right click, right, and remove these columns. So those columns, they are no longer in our data set. You can undo that particular you can undo that action by clicking this X under the applied steps. Click X, itarudi to normal. But now imagine you have like 100 rows and you want to maintain only 5 or 10. You just select the ones that you want to maintain. For example, I want to maintain these and these. So I want to delete others apart from these ones, right? You click, you just right click and remove other columns apart from the latent columns, right? Yes, you remove all other columns apart from the latent columns. So still you can undo that action by clicking on that part. Suppose that your data, or you think that your data is now clean and you want to apply those changes and continue with your analysis or your visuals. You just click on close and apply. Then you click on close and apply, or you can just apply those actions that you've done and continue with cleaning your data, right? Or you can close without what? Without cleaning your data. So that is the first action. The second one is for renaming columns. And suppose we want to rename this column here. This is the second class. So you just double click while your cursor is on the column name. You double click and you change name to the name that you want, blah blah blah. Then you just click enter. You will notice that we have renamed that particular column under the applied steps here. So we have that particular column. So if you want to continue with your analysis, you can just click on close and apply. You click on close and apply. But because you are demonstrating, I cancel that step. Now I remain with my original words, my original column name. Any question up to that point before we continue? Any question? Any question? Nataka hata kama if you don't have a question, say I don't have a question, ili nijue kama tuko on the same note, on the same boat. Sawa. Sababu naweza ongea na nikuwe siyuko kwa hatuko pamoja. So let's continue.
No question.
Yes. Question?
I said no question.
No question. Very good. I can see now we are together. So let's continue now with the first step. Let's continue with the third one. And the third one was for removing duplicate rows. Removing duplicate rows. And for removing duplicate rows, you just click on this ribbon here, this one yenye iko kwa the first column, the one on the first column. Let's see. I want us to remove this one, not this one actually. I want us we remove columns based on this we remove rows based on this column. And remember, removing rows is we are removing now duplicate across the rows. So if we encounter any duplicate here, we delete one of the rows mpaka uko mwisho. Sawa, we delete one of the rows. And the step is very simple. You just click on this icon, right? I think we are together. You click on this icon and go to remove duplicate. Sawa. And tunatoa tu duplicate just like that. Sawa. Remember we said that yesterday you can note if your column is complete, if your column has some errors, if your column has some empty cells or ABCD, just using this line, just using this bold line here after the headers or after the column names. What we have here, this line must be, which color is this? In green and blue. This is blue, right? If this line is blue, is continuous blue kutoka huko mpaka the first mpaka to the last up to the last column, it means your data is complete. But what happens if we have some other colors apart from this bold? It means we have some missing values, right? If you bring your cursor just to that line, without clicking anything, you will get summary statistics of a specific column. So you get summary statistics of a particular column. So for example, here we have 824 entries, we have 0 error, we have 0 empty cell. So but for this one, I can see we have so many empty cells because we don't have this line is not continuous. Yeah, so if you bring your cursor here, there, you will notice that we have 73 values, which constitute to only 9% of values in that particular column. We don't have any error, but we have 751 empty cells, which constitute to 91% of all the cells in that particular column. So in that particular column. So it's upon you now to decide whether to remove those null values or to replace them. So by removing them, we mean you delete them. And deleting the null values, it means that you are going to delete the whole row. So the whole row. That's where when you click on this part here, you can remove those errors. Let's see. We have removed now errors in this part here, but now we ain't no any error. So we ain't no any error in this particular column. But here I want you to be very keen here. So we are trying to we are continuing with our process of cleaning. When you right click, while your cursor is on that line, you can keep errors or remove duplicate if we have duplicate values in that particular column, right? Or we can remove those empty, right? I want you to click on remove empty and see what is happening here. After removing the empty cells, you will notice that this line here is now complete in this color. Now if you let your cursor there, it means we have 73 valent ones, we have 0 error, we have 0 empty cells. So you have 0 empty cells, and you can do that to this other part here. Let's see. Just a minute. Yes, your cursor ikiwa hapo, you can remove those empty cells, or you can just replace them, sindio? Remove, acha tuone zinabaki ngapi. So it means in that particular column we have how many? Tulikuwa na ngapi? We only had one valent entry. So it means nikidelete those others, zita keep, it will delete all the values across the entire data set. But let me undo this one, ili ni remain with my data. So I think mpaka hapo umepata the contents. So let's continue. The fourth one was for merging columns, right? Was for merging columns. Let's try now to merge some columns here. Suppose I want to merge this column together with this one. I want to merge the first column with the second column. How do I do? You click those two columns, right? You click those two columns, then you click transform while you are on data on the query. You click on transform, and you click on this part here for merging columns. I want to merge those two columns, so you click on merge columns. And now what is the separator, or what will I use to separate the values from the first row, from the first column with the second one? I'm going to use the custom separator. You can use colon, you can use commas, you can use equal sign, semicolon, but I want to use the custom one. And hapa kwa custom, when you click on custom, you'll notice that we have another row here where we can enter something. So you insert this underscore, and what is my new name of the merged column? I say merged column 1. So merged column 1. I click on OK. So I click on OK. So this is the merged column. Check. So this is the merged column. So tumejaribu to do those but now how do you unmerge? How do we split those columns? I think that is the second yes, that is the second part, the next step actually. So how do we split those columns? Now you just click on so we are going to split this one. So you click on, you highlight that column. We are going to split by delimiters. Remember, my delimiter that I used to combine these two rows is the underscore. So I use delimiter. So I'm using my custom delimiter. So I used this to combine, right? So I'm keeping each occurrence of the delimiter. So zenziko below, how do we say it? After delimiter, is treated as one column and before, right? You just click on OK. Let's see. Yes, so we have it here. So this is merge column 1.1. so we have the data here, we have the other data here for the merged one. So I want to split these two. Yes, we split up that point, then tukae mpaka hapo. This is the ship model, the first in there. The last one before we go to the visuals is for replacing null values. How do we replace null values? With either a specific value or delete them. How do we do it? Let's see. Suppose I want to replace on this part here. This error. Yes, so I'm using this one, the first, the second column, right? Suppose I want to replace these null values with a specific value. You just right click here. The first one we have removed. Let me see. We have removed those empty cells. Yeah, remove tukaacha na hizo. But suppose now we want to replace. How do we do it? Hey, wallahi time imeenda. We have to pull up our socks. Or you can research on this one. It's very simple. Sindo, you can do more research on this one. How do we replace null values? How do we replace these values here? Then is equal null. So suppose I want only null, so I can unselect all of them and select these. So these are null. Then is equal null peke. Now I want to replace null with a certain value. I want to replace this with a certain value. Enter the value which will replace errors in the skeleton. Here banaenda. Actually, you could assignment here. Go and research more on how we replace those things. They are very simple. So. But now, I want as we use. Let me check. So just click on this other, except null. So let's see. So that is it. Naona iko sawa. So those are just some simple methods that we use to prepare data just for analysis. I want as we do some visuals. I think I didn't document it because we have a lot of things to cover there. And for visuals, I want as we use another data. I want as we use another data now. Kuna hiyo data nilikuwa nimetuma ya access, the data for access. I want as we use it. So I want us to use the access let me delete this one first. Now I can see. Okay, let's try to load that particular data set for the access, and we do visualizations here and there. Click on get data, go to the access, then click that particular database. So achia tu ngoja iload kidogo. Are you getting something? Guys, are you getting something?
We are trying to follow.
But the process is simple, isn't it? The process is simple. So let's now continue. So this is the access database. Click on it, then click on connect. Alafu we click on Power BI sample, click on open. Tutungoje. Power BI iko simple kidogo. So we are going to load all this data. So load all of them. So then you click load. Let's wait for it to load.
Does everyone have that data?
Yes, I shared the data yesterday.
I think George, do you have the data really? George and
No, I don't have the data.
Priska. You can reshare it, Nani, Bernard, like in the group, so that those who don't have.
Iko kwa the document that I share that we were using yesterday. Iko attached to hapo kwa that document.
Inside the Word document?
Yes, hapo chini kabisa. It's attached there. So extract the data. Acha niwape like 4 minutes to extract that data and we load it. So it actually
George, it's in the Word document that I sent to you. That was used yesterday. I think maybe I can just highlight it, including Priska.
Yeah. So yesterday was on day 2, power 2, right? Okay, open power 2. Wenye wako nayo wakitoa, I want to show you where the data is. Yes, so okay, scroll down, kuna this data. It's the same data. You just double click na you unatoa that particular database hapo. Sawa. Nataka kusikia kila mtu ako nayo. Frida, have you downloaded that data? George Oluwat. George, welcome. I think you are new. You can see your name is new to me. So welcome here in Bounty Analytica. Priscilla, welcome. Who is the... Do we have any other visitor? welcome and stay with us until we end the session. Sawa. Brianna,
Yes.
have you loaded the
Yes.
data?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay. Make sure you load it before we continue. So this is the data now. We have the date, geography, manufacturer, product, sales, sentiment, ABC. Sawa. I want as we expand on geography and which other we can expand the sales. We can expand sales and we start to visualize our data, and we can start now to visualize our data. Just a minute before we continue. Okay, we can just continue. So we are going to demonstrate how we can plot this data using the inbuilt visuals, right? Suppose we want to represent let's see what we have on country. What do we have on country? Okay, just unmark the country. I want you double click on field map. So you just double click on field map. What is happening when you click on the field map? What is happening, guys? Nataka kusikia kutoka kwenye mna click. Right? Nataka kusikia kutoka kwenye. When you double click this field map, when you double click this one, you will notice that something is coming here. So this is a visual. You want to build now a visual, and when you double click that part, you will notice that we have to fill some values here, right? We have to fill some values here. Suppose I want country, I want sales per country, right? So I had location on country. What is happening here? Nataka mniambie what is happening here. You can drag country and bring it here on the location. Hiyo ni nini itakuja hapo. Sawa. So itakuwa in that particular format. We want to get the sales. When you drag revenue and we work kwa values. Let us see. We work hapo kwa legends. It can't go there. So these are longitude, latitudes. So this is revenue by country, so we don't have that one here. I want as we add, okay, customize this one. So I want as we add something here, something that makes more sense, that is more sensible. While your cursor is on this part, double click on this part, iache kukuwa active. I want you to double click on the stacked bar chart. So actually what we are doing now, we are trying to develop what? We are trying to develop a dashboard. Yeah, we are going to develop a dashboard. So this is the stacked bar chart. I want countries zikuwe kwa the legends. No, not that one. Ngojea. I want countries there together with their revenues, value of the revenues. So together with the revenues, what do we have here? Just a minute. So these are revenues, so but now I want, suppose now you want for example mean of revenue. You click on that part, you click on this icon, weka average. Ukiweka average, you can start with the maximum ukienda minimum. So hii kitu ni mrefu, hata kama unaiona ikiwa hapa, is so big. So with those countries now, while your cursor is there, I want you to click on the maps and tell me what is happening. So we have those values, right? But now on the legends, I want to insert countries. So drag and insert country on the legends. Let's see. Yes, we have it now. So we have the legends for different countries, right? So what we are doing is visualizing on a map. We are trying to visualize this on a map. So and we have legends here. So for example, for Canada, we have this color in sky blue ama inaitwaje. So we have Canada, this sky blue here. So this area, this is Canada, right? We have France, we have this particular color, unakuja unaiona vizuri in your map. We have Germany, we have it here, unaiona vizuri. We have the USA. USA is presented by this particular color. So unaona, we have those values there. Sawa. Any question up to that point before we continue? Any question? Do you have any question? Are you following? Are you understanding what we are doing? Are we together? Are we together? Okay, let's continue. So this is what we call a dashboard. So dashboard moja hapa, we have presented those values with country. Another dashboard that I want as we have is for example a pie chart. I remove this one here. So we remove this one. So I want to click on the pie chart and double click your pie chart. I want to drag country on legends and the same country on what? Oh, no. Revenue as values. Yeah, revenue as values. What is happening here? Let me zoom this out so that you can see. So okay, click this part here. You can okay, we have percentages of revenue per country. Utaziona zimeandikwa in this part. Kila for Canada unakuja unapata ya Canada hapa. For France, I think these things were equal, so zilikuwa na 20. Let's see whether this country zilikuwa the same. The country on geography, whether it was the same as country on this other part here. Weka legends hapo. Yes, so we have different here. We have different values. What else can we add? What else? Oh, is details. Let's see. Add data field here. So we have the data field. So it means on sales we have only 3 countries, and USA is leading with the revenue. You can see USA has 89.55%. we have Mexico with this color, which is 6.46%. we have the finance, not finance, the France. We have France. Revenues for France is 3.98%. So 3.98%. So on sales, revenue is distributed in those 3 countries with those percentages. So do you have any other question? Nani hajaelewa mpaka hapo before we continue? Nani hajaelewa? Yes? Are we together?